All right, and joining us live from Israel on broadcast is Dr. Kinvraj Jangir. He is a West Asia expert. And thank you so much, sir. First of all, for joining in on the broadcast. We'll discuss about the implications of the strike. But as of now, I want to bring your attention to the fact that the strikes came at a time when head of the World Health Organization, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, was about to board a plane at the airport, according to him. And this is serious. What's your analysis say?
Thank you, Siddharth. I find that news very, in a way, concerning. But I think Israel has been, in a way, under constant rockets and missiles for the last 8 days. I have been in this country for the last 4 days. And every night around midnight or the early morning, there are sirens and people really have to take shelters. And these are like millions of people across the central Israel, cities like Tel Aviv.
Okay. Tell us how it is like to be there. I mean, you have to go to the bunkers when sirens, they go on?
Yes. You're advised that you have around 60 seconds, a minute from your apartment to the shelter. That's a safe period in which you should be not doing anything else but rushing to the shelter house. And these are shelters like, the basement of 5, 8-floor buildings. All the basements are bunker rooms with iron doors. So they are safe zones if the buildings collapse or there is a direct hit to one apartment. It's scary to just run out of your apartment in the middle of the night and not knowing it can really be your apartment that night that a missile will come and hit. Missiles don't really explode the whole buildings, but it can really hit a full apartment and can kill. And some of the families have been killed in that fashion for the last 8 days. So I think in Israel, the situation is very grim. And at the end of the year, when Israel was actually, the military and the hawkish politicians in the government have been actually celebrating their victories against Hezbollah, their victories against Hamas in 2024, they seem to be a little frustrated with Houthis attacking Israel in a direct fashion. Inside Israel, the debate is not to target Sanaa and think that will be sufficient. Israel is actually debating to take action against Iran. Because whatever Houthi groups are doing, it's not their call. They're acting, with the strong Iranian support and incentive. So Israeli cabinet met yesterday night and decided that they would actually come out with a plan and a declared intent to directly hold Iran responsible for these attacks for the 8 days and take an action if Iran doesn't back off.
Okay. Sir, now Houthi military spokesman Yahya Saraya announced the launch of a hypersonic missile targeting Israel's Ben Gurion airport, while Israeli Prime Minister vowed to continue strikes on Yemen until the mission is complete. Until the mission is complete. Do these developments signal the possibility of an escalating high-intensity conflict between the two sides in the near future? And what are the potential consequences of prolonged Israeli military operations in Yemen for its internal stability?
Well, that really is a bit of a worrying sign. Mission complete is an ambiguous term that Netanyahu has been using for the last year and a half. He still thinks mission is not complete in Gaza. And that's just a rhetoric with which the war is continued and ceasefire is ignored. The problem would not be so much in Yemen. The problem for the region will be a direct escalation between Iran and Israel.
Okay.
Because the Israeli government and military rightly think that Houthis will not stop until and unless Iranians really stop their hostility towards Israel. Now, Iranians have lost all leverage and military outreach in Lebanon as well as in Syria. So the only way Iran is saving its face in the name of the Palestinians is to create this kind of a situation from Yemen, which in a way achieves two things to the Iranian, interest. A, the region remains, unstable and highly risk oriented. And second, it also spoils the plans of Donald Trump, who made it very clear that by January 20, when he comes into the office, he wants all wars to be over in the Middle East. So I think Iranians do not want to give this, possible reality to Donald Trump, and they are, in a way, it's kind of a brinkmanship that we call it in international politics, pushing things on the edge, making the other react all the time.
Okay. Also, I would like to talk to you about the global trade which is being affected. What's your analysis say? You know, the presence of Houthis in that area is affecting the global trades because the ships are, they have to take longer routes. The insurance company have hiked the prices.
It's a terrible for the international trade, and it actually has been very terrible for the Indian Trade Association, the Indian Export Association. The National Association met Piyush Goyal multiple times, requested him. And I think Iran and Houthis are really risking many countries and their economic well-being. I mean, for a rhetoric which is not sincere, in the name of the Palestinian people. I think Iran is abrasive with its diplomacy, and Iran doesn't really want stability in the Middle East. Stability in the Middle East is essential for a country like India. Think of the trade and think of the India's I2U2 or India, Middle East and Europe economic corridor. All of these things are in a way buried now because of the situation that Iran has in a way helped create from Yemen. Yemen is actually a very, very, in a way, bad spot because it's a country that doesn't have any history of conflict with the Palestinian or the Israelis. Think of it that in the last 75 years, Yemen did not join any of the Arab wars that were fought with Israel. But now suddenly a group comes up in Yemen and says, well, we don't care about the well-being of Yemen, but we care about the Israel-Palestinian conflict. So I think it's a bit of, instrumentalist, opportunistic exploitation of the Palestinian issue by the Houthis and the Iranian patrons from Tehran.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for joining in on the broadcast. Much appreciated.